over the weekend, we did have some recreational vitamin usage. And so it just became her playing The Sims on her laptop and me watching Slapshot because
Okay.
I just like I couldn't sell it hard enough to her. I was like, and I think she's seen it but didn't remember any of it. I think Slapshot is one of the greatest comedy movies ever made.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
telling
I
you,
know.
it is one of the best comedy
Okay.
movies ever. In fact, you can make a real case that it's the best comedy movie, and for my money, the best movie decade of all time, which is the 70s. Now, that up against Animal House is tough. They're both great. But it's have you heard of Slapshot?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I know.
So
Paul
it's
Newman's in it. Yeah.
yes, minor league hockey in
Yeah.
the 70s.
It's
And
there's brothers, right? The
the
hockey
Hanson
player.
Brothers,
Okay.
yes, and they goon it up, and it's just about this team becoming like characters, kind of like the Broad Street Bullies, the Flyers
Okay.
of the day, and just becoming maniacs. And it's perfect fucking humor, man. There's this one scene right at the beginning, like the first scene.
Mm.
They're doing like the national anthem. They're getting ready for a game. There's like a handful of people in the arena. And, it's like at center, Paul Newman, Reggie Dunlop. And they're like, you suck, Dunlop. And they got the guy, Cornway comes out. And it's just this woman who's like 20, in her 20s. And she yells, camera zooms in on her. She yells out, frog pussy. It's fucking just great, man. Like every scene has something funny in it. And believe it or not, because I got to warn this when I watch something with my girlfriend, like most all of the scenes hold up comedically. There are one or two things where I'm like, oh, you're not going to like this joke. One or two things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like it really holds up, dude. Paul Newman's great in it. Michael Ontkeen from Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
Seen Twin Peaks. He's alongside as one of the big stars in it. And there's a great scene. Let's link it back to Christmas movies. I might have said this on the show, but let's link it back to Christmas movies. There's a scene I literally paused. Grace was cooking. I made her come out and see this. But there's a scene after Paul Newman has slept with a young lady, and they're talking in bed, and she sits up, and she's got a very nice 70s rack. Very nice. And I remember watching that as a kid and being like, damn, that is a good pair right there.
Wait, so that's why you brought Grace on?
Well, I paused it and I go, Grace, look at this rack. It's pretty good. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm
then
like,
that was it. And then you let
well,
her
no. Like this scene, like this woman, this good-looking woman who's naked is talking about this like very erotic experience she's having about starting to sleep with women. And it's like kind of hot, right? And I'm like, I make her watch this. She's like, why are you making me watch this? And I go, that lady there is the mom in A Christmas Story.
You did talk about that on the show, yeah.
Which I didn't find out until like the last year or two. I had no idea. And she had one of the great responses she's ever had. And she was like, oh, okay, I've never seen A Christmas Story. And I was like, on one, like I couldn't even decide where to go with this. I was shit, yeah, because I hate A Christmas Story, but also, how have you never seen it?
I mean, I saw it once, and that was once enough for me.
It's on for like 30 straight hours.
Yeah, TBS used to run marathons, all day marathons.
I think they still do. Like
do
6 o'clock.
No, I honestly remember
till midnight the next
going to school with people who would be legit excited about it being on marathon form, and I just could never process that.
I think my parents still like it, but this came, by the way, this Slapshot thing came after we were the night before looking through shitty movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie Cedar Rapids popped up. You ever seen Cedar Rapids?
Name sounds familiar, but
it was kind of like Diet Judd Apatow type comedy in the late aughts. It was Ed Helms who was doing The Office at the time, and it's about him like going to a conference in Cedar Rapids, and it gets wild. And it's supposed to be kind of hangover type humor. Mm-hmm. And so we start watching that. I'm like, I suggested it as a joke, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to get high anyway. So why not? Let's just do it. And we didn't even get past the first scene, Zach, the first scene, because the guy is some sort of insurance salesman. I think it's life insurance, if I had to guess the setting of which he was doing. And he's like, don't worry, we'll take care of you. He's like talking to a young couple. And Grace goes, we can't watch this. I was like, what? Why? Other than the obvious of that it sucks. And she was like, it's too close to home right now. Is this guy in health insurance? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, she turned off the movie because a health insurance CEO was murdered last week. And she was like, it's too close. I'm like, we don't even know that he's selling health insurance. And he's not a CEO. She's like, yeah, but I mean, you know how much they back out of these deals and I'm at their most vulnerable. I'm like, what is this? It's a movie. It is a movie with Ed Helms. Like, what? So we had to turn that off and watch 22 Jump Street, which she didn't even finish. So
I get it to an extent of like, sometimes because I am one of the people who abides
I needed to get you on here as as the woke voice of reason for me here.
Thank you. As somebody who like, I understand like sometimes you just want to completely like just check out of like what's going on in the around you. So like that's why a lot of times I do watch a lot of like the, I don't know, the superhero stuff that I do, like the anime, because it's something that.
By the way, this was kind of my argument. And I was like, it's a movie. I guarantee you the movie is not going to be about him selling health insurance and denying claims. True. I guarantee you. In fact, that is going to be like a complete, probably non sequitur. You know, like who remembers what Bradley Cooper's job was in The Hangover? Nobody, right? Like teachers can be corrupt too.
You obviously remembered what it was.
I do because I watch a lot of movies. But fuck, no.
I get the point you're making there of how the story is going to differentiate from it. My point is though, is sometimes I think when people want to disassociate, they want to completely disassociate. So anything in that realm still just kind of brings it back into your mind. So I get why she went with 22 Jump Street, but is it like so? Is it like Major League? She didn't like
cops either, so I don't know. Anyway,
well, does she like Channing Tatum?
And we did discuss. I mean, this is I really liked those movies when it came out. I mean, still like them, but like I saw 21 Jump Street theaters, was a huge fan of it, snuck in when I was in high school. It's rated R. And I think it's now important to look back that I think they're only like 23 or 24. They're supposed to be pretty young, those characters, even though they're clearly not that young. But he's lusting after a teenager in the first one. Jonah Hill is. She's like 16, 17. And then the captain's daughter in the second one, who's like 20. It's odd. It's odd. And so he's probably shouldn't be just like sleeping with these women while he's undercover, but whatever. I guess. Problematic.
That brings up a good point that you kind of brought up with slap shots of where you're like, oh, this joke's not going to land. Major League growing up was like it's still my favorite sports movie, and I will quote it all the time, and I think it's hilarious. The whole Tom Berenger, Rene Russo storyline in there now, though.
It's weird. Pete said this was not weird. We talked about this with Pete. He was like, no, come on. I'm like, he stalks her. He legitimately stalks her.
He steals a bullpen car to drive home, like to follow her home.
I remember even as a kid being like,
up. He follows her up to her apartment and interrupts a dinner she's having with her current boyfriend or fiance.
Fucking weird. I do remember even as like a teenager being like, oh, that's kind of odd. And now I'm like, this is just weird.
Now the rest, if we can get like Major League Sans Berenger Russo like love triangle or storyline, it's perfect then, because it's just about a ragtag baseball team that's hilarious to follow.
The owners against them.
Yeah. You're seeing
hot.
Oh yes, anyway. I like Jesus. Good for fastball, but no hit curveball. Are you saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? The whole movie, it's filled with great quotes. Like,
so Slapshot.
I need to watch it. Where can I
think you should, man. You'll like it. I had to rent it, which sucks.
Okay.
I had to rent it. And I want to buy a DVD because I watch that a couple of times a year, man. Like it doesn't get old. I fucking love it. Anyway, yeah, I think Slapshot is one of the best comedy movies of all time.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.